If you like what you hear in this podcast and want to help us keep the lights on, then you could support us on Ko-fi for as little as a £1 one-off donation. The links are in the episode description. Thanks for your support. This is Skip, the podcast where we tell you, in our opinion, which albums are truly unskippable and which ones belong on the moors. Sorry, no, in the skip. I'm Mike.
I'm Rob.
And this week we are taking a listen to The Kick Inside by Kate Bush. Who's this one coming from again? I really should check this sheet.
So this one is coming from one of my former colleagues' moms. So last week we had my PE teacher, and now we're having my former colleague's mom.
In my head, it was just Family Affair by Mary J. Blige. Just whenever you introduce any of these albums.
But yeah, her name's Becky, and she said that this was just her quintessential album. Even though she's on the leaderboard for the top fans of The Darkness.
What? In what regard?
In the fact that she pretty much tries to see them wherever they play, and even goes to their five-a-side football games in London.
Okay.
Which is new information that you now know.
It is.
That Justin Hawkins plays five-a-side football in London.
And that one of the people you used to work with's mums is a Darkness groupie. Interesting. I didn't mean to call her out like that. You do you, and you do Justin if that's what you want to do. So, Kate Bush, an artist that has an unparalleled ability to just resurge at any time. I mean, Running Up That Hill, it's not on this album. It's a song that will not die and kind of feels eternal. Well, just keeps coming back every generation.
Every time it disappears, a new show uses it.
Yeah. And it's kind of because it's a
good song.
I love Running Up That Hill.
It's such a good song.
It's something we didn't do in the last episode, so I'll make sure we're doing this one. Kate Bush, I've got quite a bit of fondness for Kate Bush. It's mostly for the songs that are on Hounds of Love, which is like her sixth album, I want to say. Mostly because Running Up That Hill and Hounds of Love, obviously, are on that. I had never listened to this album, ever. I didn't even know what it was called. I couldn't tell you what it looked like. And now I'm more familiar with it than I thought I ever would be, mainly because the Wuthering Heights song is on this, and that's the big popular one. Had you heard that or any of this album prior to the episode?
I've only ever heard the Wuthering Heights song and Running Up That Hill.
Okay.
Question. The Hounds of Love, is that the one that the Futureheads did?
That's the one, yeah. Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, I know the Futureheads cover of that song.
Okay.
I know fuck all about Kate Bush.
Did you? I don't think you had parents that were as quite obsessed with 80s pop as mine were.
My parents listened to garage, R&B, and anything that wasn't 80s Kate Bush.
Yeah.
Essentially.
My household, my dad was the one that did all this. It's Human League, Depeche Mode, Erasure, Yazoo, and shit like Kate Bush.
Wasn't your mom into the one with Brian Cox in?
No, she was into Brian Ferry.
Oh, okay.
So Roxy music, which is earlier than this, but also kind of, quite 80s at the same time. To give you a flavour of the kind of... A flavour of the kind of stuff that my parents like, the back and forth, it would literally be like Human League, Bon Jovi, Brian Ferry, Alison Moyet. Just really bizarre. The two gigs that my mum has been to this year back to back have been Tony Hadley. I know. What? And then Maximo Park, which is because
wow.
I was born. So that's the only reason that she'd be going to I was about to say an artist that new. That's an album from 2005, so never mind, eh?
I didn't realise it was still going.
Oh, yeah. We saw them a couple of weeks ago.
Did you apply some pressure?
I did apply a little bit of pressure, enough to stop the bleeding. They're still fucking great.
Are you impressed that I knew that reference?
I'm impressed that you knew the title of any of their songs that wasn't Our Velocity. So, there you go.
I forgot that they did that song.
They're fucking good. They were really good when we saw them as well. They've still got the energy. We're not here to talk about Maximo Park. We're here to talk about Kate Bush. Let's do that. So, this is Kate Bush's debut album.
Yep, from 1977.
Does that make this the oldest album we reviewed, or is that still rumours?
I think that's still maybe rumours.
I'll double check that whilst you read us some facts and or figures.
Okie dokie. So, This was released in 1978,
Mhm.
so it was recorded mainly in 1977,
Mhm.
and it's her miraculous, visionary debut album, the kind of record that didn't just announce a new artist, but was a new way of being an artist. So it brought her out rather than the music out. So it was like a soft launch for herself rather than her music, which is quite comical. It's intimate, literary, dream-drenched, and emotionally acrobatic, filled with melodies that float, dart, and shapeshift. Many critics and fans see it as one of the most astonishing debuts ever. An album largely written in Kate's teens, but bloomed with maturity, imagination, and a sense of creative freedom that felt alien to the pop world of 1978.
It is also not the oldest album we reviewed because Rumours is 1 year old.
Oh,
There you go.
damn.
Never mind. There's a lot to say about that kind of summarization of what's going on here, right? Because art pop and baroque pop is very much a tool for kind of rock stars at this point. You know, the contemporaries for this kind of stuff would have been Queen and Pink Floyd, Supertramp, that kind of thing. Rock acts that were kind of taking rock and the idea of an album to its logical extremes. We're actually going to talk a little bit about that next week. That's your teaser for next week. It's one of those three. Roll the dice. And when it comes to bringing that into pop music, that's where it's quite difficult. Pop music at that time was kind of dominated. I mean, late 70s is still disco. It might be post-disco. Might be coming up towards, the early career of Michael Jackson. But it's very much rooted in
Engelbert Humperdinck.
not what I was thinking. What I was going to say was kind of quite approachable stuff. Like, I mean, maybe kind of like quirky shit like Boney M and stuff like that.
Dionne Warwick, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's where it's at. It's not this kind of like flowery and verbose and grand in the way that it's written.
And then if you look at the rock side as well, you've got artists like Joan Jett, which are like grungier, not as well defined as the sort of music that Kate Bush was making.
Yeah, I mean it's early days for Joan Jett at this point as well. It's you're kind of more in the kind of like I'm gonna say the doldrums of prog. I like prog, but like it's that time. It's the big post hippie stoner albums era, and then you got Kate Bush doing what I can only describe as kind of like writing poetry and having incredible session musicians. Weirdly, some of which also were from Pink Floyd. For somebody who was 19 years old when this album came
Incredible.
out.
Absolutely incredible.
It's a hell of a thing.
There were 5 singles from this album,
Mm-hmm.
3 technically for our release,
Mm-hmm.
and for some reason, Brazil got their own individual release, and Japan got 2 random releases as well.
Yeah, it's a weird how they kind of marketed this. I think what's the most interesting in terms of the release schedule and how they kind of put Bush forward as an artist is what they did in England compared to what they did in America. Same kind of 3 singles in both territories, but very much presented as a eclectic weirdo in Britain, and it worked. And then they had to remove all of that from the American release and like literally put her in a skin tight tank top instead of having an interesting artistic front cover. It's literally just her looking
In
cute.
jeans
Yeah.
and boots.
The Americans did not know. Well, they still don't know how to do fucking quirk, really. Not like the Brits.
No, they don't have Pauline Quirk.
They don't ever eat any Pauline Quark either. What am I talking about? Can we just get some more facts?
What the fuck? Pauline Quark, The album was made after years of Kate's ballet training, songwriting, and homegrown artistic discipline. She arrived at the EMI not as an unshaped hopeful, but as a fully formed storyteller with a 4-octave voice, taste for unconventional narrative, a theatrical literary sensibility, and a deep love of myth, folklore, and emotional nuance. And she wasn't looking to make traditional pop. She explored themes that are kind of unusual for the time, more intimate and intensely personal themes as well.
Yeah. The way that kind of she approached her songwriting is very interesting because it's a lot of the accounts that I was reading before coming into the show were she would just witness. So she had quite an artistic family as it stood, and would just witness stuff and go, I'm going to go and write a song about that now. At like age 11, would just write shit and it be of this caliber. I don't know whether you've already got it, so I don't want to kind of steal your thunder if you have. Have you got the story about how she was discovered in there?
I haven't, no.
Okay, so I actually know this one. So she was in a band with her brothers who were musicians and recorded some demos when she was, I want to say, 15 years old. Sent them off to EMI. I think it's EMI anyway. They passed, but David Gilmour from Pink Floyd heard it and was like, okay, this shit's incredible. Visited the family and said, right, okay, we can work something out. Let's record some new versions of these demos, put them back in front of EMI and see where it goes. And I'm going to put in a good word. That happened. EMI went, okay, now that somebody from Pink Floyd has said that this is good, we think it's good. Funny how that works. And we're prepared to give you an advance for the album, but at 16 years old at the time, you are not ready to do this. You are not ready to be in the public eye. Take some time out. We'll record the album over a couple of years. I think 88 is when they did the final mastering. 78, sorry, is when they did the final big recording block. Go away and learn how to be an artist. Finished her would have been O-levels at the time. Finished her O-levels, went straight into recording the album, learned to do, like you say, ballet and performance art and movement, and then released this age of 19 and has been a international sensation since then. Kind of incredible that you can, again, Pink Floyd are not a small band, get their attention off a demo enough for them to go, yeah, we'll come in as session musicians for this album for you.
Well, it just shows you that some people are born to be rock stars.
Totally.
Like, some people, they work their absolute arses off from such a young age to be in this, like, that field, to be a success. There are born musicians. Like, some people say you can learn it. Not everyone can learn how to sing. Not everyone can learn how to play the guitar or play the saxophone. Some people are born to be superstars. And I think Kate Bush is one of those examples.
I can't think of anything that she would be doing that would be as fulfilling as the songwriting. And that is, I mean, we'll talk about Wuthering Heights very soon, but is kind of an encapsulation of what her literary understanding of storytelling is and how that was there from the very beginning. And is genuinely so impressive. I think even if the music isn't to people's taste, I think the one thing you can't deny about Kate Bush is her ability to write a compelling set of lyrics.
Oh, 100%. Wuthering Heights actually reached #1, making Kate the first female artist to top the UK charts with a self-written song.
Which is mental, right? The idea that, like, wasn't the first woman to top the charts, but wasn't the first woman trusted enough with her own craft to do it. And then she, at 19 years old, having written the song several years beforehand, finally makes that, like, talk about a glass ceiling breaking moment.
Insane. The actual album itself reached #3 on the UK's album chart.
Again,
which,
a 19-year-old.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
We've talked about a lot of debuts in this series so far. I don't think any of them have been touched as little as this album.
Yeah, totally.
Like, Pink Floyd, some members of Pink Floyd came along and went, okay, let's spruce it up. But they didn't change the overall feel of it. It's still very much her, which is, it's a breath of fresh air. Yeah. It's so nice. And it got certified platinum in the UK as well.
That's not surprising.
It's absolute insanity. And I didn't even know she was British.
How?
I don't know. I knew nothing about her.
Yeah, you listened to know.
I just knew she was running up that road.
Up that hill? Up the building? Yeah. Ayo.
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 Now all I can think
I'm
about...
walking in.
Now all I can think about is that side talk video where it's like, what's up? What would you say to Joe Byron right now? What's up, baby? Take me out to dinner. Ayo.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I will send you... It's 60 seconds of pure chaos and I love it. I'll send it you later.
So the genres of this album are art pop, baroque pop, folk, soft rock, theatrical pop, and singer-songwriter, apparently. Didn't know that was a genre.
Okay.
Covering the themes of love, desire, storytelling, mythology, guilt, longing, imagination, emotional awakening, and femininity.
Yeah. I mean, that last one is pretty much the apparent theme of the past two.
If I was going to put this album into any sort of, like, genre, it's love, like a love album from a female perspective.
There is a lot of that. There's definitely a lot of that. I think of all the things that kind of like feel right, I think of all the words I'd use Baroque, because you really got all those classical elements. I feel as somebody who is primarily a piano player, that's almost certainly going to be where you're directed from. And like I say, pop at that time was not doing classical influences. Rock certainly was. We're talking about the same kind of time as Bohemian Rhapsody, which is very much pulling from a lot of classical elements, including its lyrical content, Galileo, Figaro, etc. You get some of that here too. So it really fits into that band. And I think obviously having, session musicians from Pink Floyd will kind of help that along.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, it is very artistic. I think art pop makes it sound pretentious. And I feel like this isn't pretentious. It is very unique and honest to who Kate Bush is. But I feel like it's easy to say it's pretentious because there's a lot of big words in there. That doesn't make it pretentious. That just makes it verbose. And there's kind of nothing wrong with that from where I'm sitting anyway.
After listening to this album a few times, I could see this being the crux of musical theatre in the modern day. Like the way that the songs are put together are very musical theatre-esque. Like, I listen to this and think Rent.
I was about to say I could hear Lloyd Webber in it now you've said that.
And
Yeah.
I think that Kate Bush somehow managed to pave the way with this release to go, these are the sorts of songs that we should be making for theatrical productions. And the way that they've been put together just works so well. And any of the songs off this album could work perfectly on stage.
Oh, yeah, because they're so grand, aren't they? And,
Yeah.
And spectacle is where theatre has gone.
Exactly. And that was just one takeaway I had from this album at the top level.
No, it's a good thought. Weirdly, now I'm thinking about it, like it is kind of very Evita, isn't it? It does.
Like,
yeah,
you think
yeah.
of any of you think of any of the modern like showcases that are on the West End or Broadway, any of the big like, non-Avenue Q comedy sort of style ones, like you got Blood Brothers, all that sort of stuff. Think about the tracks in that, and then put them against some of the songs off this album, and you'll see so many similarities.
Blood Brothers was roughly this time as well, I think. So, like, yeah, I guess I can kind of like draw a line between Willie Russell and Kate Bush. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's theatrical. It is big. It is grandiose. It's not going for. I don't know. I was about to say "Hey Nonny Nonny." What the fuck did that come from?
What the fuck is "Hey Nonny Nonny"?
Well, I was trying to say like fucking, like the Monkees. It's not like that fucking
yeah.
like.
So it's not like,
hey, you're pretty and we should go out. It's not that. It's never that. When Kate Bush describes longing for somebody in this album, it is from the other end of a smoky bar in fucking post-Soviet Berlin. And like that, there's just that very kind of like oil painting feel to the whole thing, enchanted by a saxophone in a bar that nobody else is engaging with. The way that she locks eyes with people through the lyrics would not be done by any of her contemporaries, and I think that makes it very unique for the time.
it's so descriptive as well that when she says things, you can imagine them happening in real time. Like, she paints a picture with every song.
Totally. Yeah, completely agree. I hadn't heard all this before. I'm very glad I've heard it now. Should we just talk about Wuthering Heights, get that out of the way? Because I feel like we're both going to... I'm making massive assumptions here that you enjoy the Wuthering Heights as a song.
I think you can tell from my face, I cannot stand this song.
Seriously, can you not? Okay, fair enough.
Okay, I'm going to get this out early.
Yeah.
I detest her high voice.
Okay. And
She has a beautiful voice when she's in the lower octaves. I cannot understand or like appreciate her voice when it's that high. As I said to you earlier, I found out today from an Alan Partridge sketch what the lyrics of this song were. I did not realise it's me, I'm Kathy, I am home now.
Yes.
I thought it was From the Moors. So the fact that I can't understand what she's saying when she's at that higher octave, like, fair play, love, you can reach it. I just don't enjoy it.
It's one of those things where there is an artistic reason for the pitched up octave of the voices. She's imagining Kathy. For those who haven't read Wuthering Heights, it's depressing as
me.
Like you, it's depressing as fuck. I actually fucking hate the book. I detest the book of Wuthering Heights. I think it's dreadful. But the reason that she's gone for the high pitched voice is because she's going for spoilers for, I'm guessing, 200-year-old book. No, that's stupid. No, it's not that old. I can do this. I've made this a challenge now, and I was midway through a point. I think the book was written in the late 1800s.
1847.
Okay, so not in the late 1800s. Okay, spoilers for that old of a book. Kathy fucking dies halfway through it, and the ghostly visage of Kathy kind of haunting Heathcliff whilst he continues to be a huge dick is kind of a theme. And the idea of kind of a longing beyond the grave and an unrequited and unfulfilled romantic entanglement between those two is why she pitched it up, because she's gone, not only is this Kathy, as a ghost, it's Kathy across her life. It's Kathy as a child. The positive memories that Heathcliff would have were from when she was young, before Heathcliff went off and made a mysterious amount of money in the Americas. You can draw your own conclusions what he was doing at that time of history, but hey-ho. So when that's happening, I understand why Kate Bush has gone for the higher octave. She's going for something that sounds haunting and wailing and almost like a banshee, but it's not going to register for everybody as something that's going to be enjoyable to listen to.
Especially for somebody that has no fucking clue what Wuthering Heights actually was.
Okay.
I am an uncultured swine. Call me that all you will.
That's fine. I hate the book, so
I've never read it. I'm not a big reader. I don't read a lot of classic literacy.
I was forced to it in school, so
fair enough.
That's probably why I hate it.
We did about the AQA thingy. What's it called now? I'm not good with words today.
But the poetry anthology.
Yeah, where you take the yam from my mouth.
What, presents from my aunt in Pakistan, half caste. What else was in
half
that book?
caste? That was the one.
Yeah.
They take the yam from my mouth.
Yeah, those were good.
They were actually good poems.
They were actually good poems. Also, it was really funny to cover the top of Carol Ann Duffy's name, so it said Carol Ann Dutty. But that's just me.
Anyway.
So,
but yeah, I'm not a big fan of that song. I'm guessing you are?
I am now.
Okay.
I'm very much now. For two reasons.
Because I don't like it.
No. For two reasons. One, I do feel like it shows off that from a very young age, how good Kate Bush was at writing. I feel like you read the lyrics and it's very clear what the story is. Now, obviously, there is a clear source material she's pulling from, it makes it all the more impressive that she wasn't actually pulling from the book originally. The first draft of the song was after she watched a televised adaptation of it. They vastly reinterpreted the effect of Kathy's quote-unquote ghost as a literal ghost, a hand coming through a window, a pale hand making its way, apparating through glass. And she thought that was such a visual kind of arresting moment that she felt compelled to write a song about it. It wasn't until after she wrote the song, she was like, well, I better read the book and get a better sense for it. And it turns out she'd actually got it pretty on the head.
That's incredible.
Which leads me neatly into my second point. I think this is actually the best adaptation of Wuthering Heights. Like, genuinely. I know the Ralph Fiennes version's meant to be good. There's a version with Tom Hardy for those who are that way inclined.
What about the incredible version you sent me earlier on today, featuring the well-known
oh no,
the well-known Titty Spectre in his calendar.
Fucking Titty Spectre! Oh my god! Okay.
Hey, he went on record to say he wouldn't post topless in his yearly calendar anymore. That old bag of bones. You don't like him. You think he's odd. Good old Mr. Cliff Richard.
So in 1996, right? I only found out about this today, and now it's this week's hyperfixation. In 1996, Cliff Richard wrote and then starred in a stage adaptation of Wuthering Heights that focuses on Heathcliff, funnily enough, called Heathcliff. And I found like a trailer for it, and it might be one of the worst things I've ever seen, but it's somehow the funniest thing I've ever seen. I implore anybody to just go to YouTube, just type in Cliff Richard Heathcliff, and watch, like, there's like a 1 minute 50 trailer for it. Oh my god, it looks so fucking bad. It looks so awful. There's at least 2 or 3 moments where there's like some really terrible, like, it's not green screen, it's probably like some kind of like backlit pastel painting thing, and he's just doing a lot of Heathcliff at sea, pulling like the best fucking meme faces you've ever seen.
I'm sorry, Heathcliff at sea. That's something I'd pay to see.
And then just and then it's clearly showing you like the ending that most adaptations go for, which is the death of Catherine. And I don't even know what he's meant to be on. I thought it was a giant fucking toilet, but he's kind of like face down in what looks like a big bog, and he's just I can't live without my life. I can't live without my soul. It's the funniest fucking thing
It's
I
like
think
he
I've
just
ever seen.
dropped a box of rocks on his toe. Oh,
It's me, oh Kathy. And it feels like he's channeling that Kate Bush octave more than anything. Cliff sounds rough in this. And then also when he's trying to do his tough northern accent, he sounds incredibly fucking camp. I like being dirty. I shall be dirty.
I need some Daz. Wash me white back to white. Show waddy.
If he turned up in Brookside, it would have been brilliant. Please go watch the shitty fucking thing. Back to Kate Bush. And what I wanted to say before we got into the Cliff Richard thing was even like there is an adaptation of Wuthering Heights in cinemas right now, and in 2020 cannot do what Kate Bush did in 4 minutes. Like, I mean, this is not a film podcast, but fuck me, that version is terrible. It's really bad. I'm beginning to think that this director's early work was a fucking fluke. Like, her first film is phenomenal, and I really love it. And this is very, very not good. And kind of misunderstands the entire relationship and the entire point of that never really getting to where they wanted to be because they were too insular to themselves. And you get this in the Kate Bush song. You get the idea of, I hated you, but I actually loved you and I didn't say it. And now that there's no life left within me, quite fucking literally, it is just this remnant. And the whole song feels like a remnant. I'm home, but I'm not actually here. Oh, I'm a ghost, I'm cold. Sure, that. But this sense of just a never-ending presence that keeps somebody awake, a rattling at a window. And yeah, sure, it's a stupid fucking high-pitched voice. I genuinely think it's the best version of this story. I really like how she finds this conflict within Kathy kind of throughout the entire song. This push and pull is in there the whole way through. I'm a massive convert to this because I thought it was ridiculous when I first heard it. I thought her vocal inflections were just a bit too much. But, you know, it's also a very iconic dance, and I'm glad that people get something out of that. Like, there's two videos. I'm assuming you've seen neither of the two music videos for this.
The look of blankness on my face.
There's one music video that was done on the cheap, and it was done in a studio, and it's just her, a smoke machine, and a white floaty dress. And then the second version is they've gone out into like a big field that looks like Yorkshire, but isn't Yorkshire, in a red dress and does the same routine. That routine is like really revered because it's the kind of time where like interpretive dance was very much not a thing that was making its way into mainstream pop music. Maybe you can't call Kate Bush mainstream. I think what you can call her is an artist, and I think she uses and then went on in her career to use movement and dance as part of her kind of shtick for years. It's been aped by several people, but kind of never improved upon. If you want a specific example, and I'll give you one, 2 times Eurovision winner Loreen tried this shit several times, and a lot of people just went, oh, look, it's Swedish Kate Bush, because it's kind of just her signature. And I really like that all these years later, it's very much just, if you are somebody doing kind of like a weird dance, it's like, somebody wants to be Kate Bush, because she pioneered this shit. And we should be fucking proud of that.
I'm watching it now. It is an odd set of movements. Her face is very Lady Gaga.
It is. She's got that kind of like ovalish, kind of big, wide eye kind of look.
I did not realise she did Babushka. I knew another song.
Yay,
Babushka, Babushka.
We're a legitimate music podcast, and Rob does not know one of the biggest Kate Bush songs.
I'm just not a fan.
Okay. Well, which songs were you a fan of? Because I get the sense that you got something from the album.
So I like the saxophone song.
Okay, that's
I
interesting.
love a saxophone, as you probably found out over the last few months.
So what you're saying is you want Gabby Rose to cover this.
Yeah, that'd be grand. For me, this feels like something that'd be at home on the back of like a Dungeons and Dragons game. It's like an adventurous theme. That's what the kind of vibe it gives me, and I'm here for it. It's like jazz, bit of jazz, in a dimly lit bar. It's that really descriptive song that you spoke about earlier, but it's like film noir.
Oh, film noir's a really good way to think about it.
It's like you could think about this as Sin City, like the black and white with just like the red of the straw or the cherry in the glass, or the cigarette ash as it flies into the air.
Again, you get that atmosphere from it.
You
Totally.
get it. How the hell do you get an atmosphere like that from a song? It's weird. It's so odd.
One thing I will point out, though, does she say yabba dabba do in this song?
I think she may. I think she may say that yabba dabba do in this song. Closet Flintstone fan over here. Kate Bush is a Flintstone. You heard it here first. Confirmed.
It's good, but you get that intimate sense of storytelling,
100%.
even though she's put kind of distance between her and the subject. Again, very, very well accomplished storytelling.
And go from that into Kite. I like the vocal tone on this. As I said earlier, her lower vocal, when she just occasionally goes into that higher octave, incredible. She has got such a unique and incredible voice. So this song is bouncy as hell. It feels like a musical theatre number that's had a few too many drinks. It's like it's all over the shop. I like the fact it talks about like breaking free from limitation. It's very much a song about true escapism, and it's full of and I don't get to say this too often, nervous whimsy, which is a great phrase I absolutely love. But yeah, she talks about constraints both literally and figuratively, and it's just a really complex way of putting this whole song together. It's just a bop.
Yeah, that bass is very disco funk,
I love it.
But it also has that kind of like slightly proggish element. Supertramp is a name I've already mentioned at the top of this episode. This feels the most like it could have come from something like Breakfast in America or something like that. It has that kind of slightly glammy falsetto kind of vocal tone to it at parts, but not the whole way through. But that's probably why I like it. It feels very early 80s, which I suppose at late 70s just kind of makes sense. Because this feels like a very forward-looking album, it does feel like it doesn't come from the 70s, if you know what I mean. But that's because it fits in with artists like Supertramp and Queen and stuff like that. It feels almost timeless, but also quite evocative of, I don't know, like an exciting part of music history. I really liked it. Kite was very good. I didn't have many notes for it beyond that. I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't say it's my favourite on the record.
James and the Cold Gun, I think it's just groovy.
That's prog as fuck, though.
It is. It's just really groovy. I could just get behind it. Like, I know I'm not usually a fan of like the oohs and the ahs and stuff, but it's just really catchy.
It is. It is. I feel like the instruments do the heavy lifting here.
It's a country rock gallop.
I mean, yeah, I guess the Colt Gun is kind of like a gunslinger story.
It's a bit yeehaw.
It is a bit yeehaw.
In a charming way.
See, I didn't think that it totally worked for me. And some of the vocal inflections were just a little bit, I feel, on the comedy side of things. Like, what was the name? In the Casino. Like, that is a bit, I'll be honest with you, that reminded me of fucking Brian Ferry. And I don't like Brian Ferry. I do think that when they slow it down towards the end of that track, there's like this reprieve at the end. And it kind of kills the pace a little bit. And that works surprisingly well. I think if they had time to explore that and maybe run this song a little bit longer, you could have lent more into the prog rock kind of stuff, and that would have been quite interesting. Oh no, there's an interesting fact about this as well. EMI were pushing for this to be the single, the lead single.
Oh, wow.
And Kate Bush pushed back and went, no, it's got to be Wuthering Heights. And Kate Bush was fucking correct, because I don't think that James and the Cold Gun would have garnered that kind of international kind of recognition. I think it's a perfectly cromulent song, but it's not Wuthering Heights. It's not, that very British core to it, because there was still an appetite for that at the time.
I completely agree. That is not the title track of this song. Like, you'd have said to me, if time would have changed, Kate Bush would not have been the artist she is without that Wuthering Heights single.
Totally.
Like, that rocketed her up into, like, the mainstream. Let's see, anything else? I did like "Oh to Be in Love."
I liked "Oh to Be in Love."
It's like a romanticized daydream.
Yeah. I mean, this kind of felt like it was doing more of a look back than a look forward. I don't know about you. I got a bit of Carole King and a bit of the Carpenters from this. There's kind of that retro feel to it.
This is a more baroque one, isn't it? Like, it reminded me of King Arthur and his round table. Like, that's the sort of vibe I had for me, like medieval times.
The restaurant, the experience.
If you're offering.
Oh, man.
A leg of turkey right now.
It's not as good as you think. Oh no, I didn't go to that. I went to there was like an Arabian Nights themed one, and I went to that. The food sucks. Never been to medieval times. Although I've seen it in Florida. They've got one that looks like fucking Castle Grayskull.
Oh,
it's pretty cool. I want to go.
If you're paying, I'll go.
Then I've got to go to America, and I don't want to do that right now. I think kind of like, again, the best bits in "Oh to Be in Love" are in that composition. I think there's a really good tone to like the steel string guitar rhythm on this. It's really nice. And I enjoy the kind of like the staggered kind of like backing thing, like the oh to be like that. It's flavor, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think that like the layering up of Bush's vocals work as well as kind of like the instruments around her, but like it all works. But it's a fun little song, and I do like it.
Cracking. And then the only other one is "Moving," more of a slower song, but it's a great entrance to the album. Little ethereal, like for me, but very theatrical, and I think that's the common running theme across all of the songs on this album. And like I said at the start, it's like a love song from a woman's perspective, which is a different take. Because at the time, all the love songs were like, "I'm a man and I like this woman." Ooh. And this is more like, "Woo, I wish this man had come take me."
Take me.
No,
I really like "Moving" as well. I think that was a really strong opener. I think actually the one that most leans into that baroque element. And I think you could really hear the things that would go on to influence like later kind of alternative pop artists. So you could hear a little bit of this in kind of Robin's earlier material. For those who don't know, Robin spelled with a Y, pop star. I think she had one really popular song in the early 2000s.
It hurts with
every heartbeat. Her earlier stuff has this. But more than anybody, there is an artist called Aurora. I hope I'm saying that right. She did music for a fantastic animated movie called Wolf Walkers. So like if you listen to, and I'm gonna just double check I get the album name right, All of My Demons Greeting Me as a Friend, which is her 2016 album, has like Kate Bush written all over it. I think Aurora might be Icelandic or something like that.
Is she she's really dainty?
Yeah.
She's constantly on TikTok and
is she?
Facebook.
I literally only got into her from the Wolf Walker stuff.
She's the one that everyone uses as an example of an artist that never needs auto-tune.
No, I get that. I think I've seen one viral video where she's like performing in a forest and then they get like a men's choir to back her up and it sounds really ethereal. But listen to Running with the Wolves, you'll hear the Kate Bush inflections all over
does
it.
She go,
"Running with those wolves, running up that hill, I'm running with the pack down Telford."
There's an oddly specific reference. Has anybody ever name dropped Telford in a song?
Telford.
Hit me up if they have. Okay, so I think is that all the
that's all the positive notes I have.
Okie dokie. I agreed with you on Moving. I agree with you on Kite. I mean, I like Wuthering Heights. I agree with you on "Oh to Be in Love." I liked Feel It. It's stripped back, obviously. It's literally just her and the piano. I think it works with her vocals. I don't think it's like too terrible. It is weirdly heartfelt for a song that is absolutely just about getting dick down. But it's
a gentle song talking about getting railed.
Oh, for
it's
sure.
So odd.
It makes me feel weird that she could have potentially written that prior to the age of 18, but we won't think about that.
No.
And I think in terms of like the absolute standout stuff, that is kind of like the top end of it. I think I liked but didn't love L'amour Looks Something Like You, mainly because of how excellent the lyrics are. I think the art pop of it all is the main draw there. But I just feel like it was a variation of Wuthering Heights musically.
I did not like that song at all.
Okay, that's interesting.
It's very similar, but not in a positive way. It doesn't continue the theme. It's like I tried to reimagine one of my songs and this is what I got. And I had to listen to it like 5 times before I could even understand what she was fucking saying. Like, her vocal tone is incredible. Her cadence suffers when it's at those higher pitches.
Yeah, I get that.
It's hard to understand exactly what she's saying, to the point I didn't know she was from the same country as me.
Fair enough.
And if I can't understand what the artist is saying because they've hit wolf levels of tone, then I'm not going to enjoy it.
So on that theme then, so is there any like one track that you can pick out as the worst, or do you have a list?
So it's between that one. I cannot stand Strange Phenomena.
I had nothing good to say about Strange Phenomena.
It's too high.
It's just 3 song ideas compressed into one,
Yeah.
and one of those song ideas was Wuthering Heights, which is just a worse version of.
Yeah, it's supposed to be about deja vu, premonitions, and psychic sparks.
I didn't really get
But I didn't get
that.
any of sense of that. Like, yeah, playful, an uncanny track, but it's just so different for the sake of being different. Like, I can understand, like, you compare that to what I've just said about the song sounding the same, and at least this song sounds completely different to the rest of the album, but it's just not good.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that one.
And, like, admittedly, yeah, this is a breakthrough debut album. Not every debut is going to have track after track after track of love. But that one just, I didn't like the man with a child in his eyes.
It seems like phenomenally poor phrasing nowadays, right?
Yeah, it does.
I mean, I don't want to make every song about nonsense, right? But like, I know it's probably like, it's actually the man's inner child, or, you know,
Romantic idealism.
Yeah, like
Emotional maturity beyond years.
Well, this is the question, right? As if she was anywhere between 16 and 19 writing this song, and she was talking about an idea of a relationship between her and an older gentleman. There's a bit of a weird power dynamic there, but at least it's being presented from somebody viewing that person as opposed to somebody being controlled by that person.
Mm-hmm.
But
Are we seeing the return of Pissy Jeff?
Listen to last week's episode for what the hell that means. I just feel like it does sound a little bit bad.
Bit icky.
It's a bit icky now. Yeah. I think in the 70s it was more than acceptable, but
when you think of the songs that are in time, she was just 17, if you know what I mean.
What do you mean? It means I'm going to prison. Yeah, I didn't love that. I didn't think it was poor. Like, the music isn't poor. I just think that the lyrical content is now a little bit suspect. But again, it's clearly coming from Bush's perspective. So I don't know. There is a perceived understanding of this person from Kate Bush in this song. She sees something in his eyes that is leveling. There is an understanding. She still feels a bit of trepidation, but there is some degree of, I think I've got to the core of this man. I'd still think this man's probably in a bit of an unweighty relationship with this woman, so to speak.
Yes, completely agree. And other than that, the rest of the album, I haven't got anything else on. I haven't made any additional notes. I've got strong and I've got weak notes, and
I unfortunately have a run at the end of the album where I did not get a lot from this. Them Heavy People is a perfectly okay song, which is ruined by the rolling the ball bit. It just feels a bit fucking
rolling the ball.
I've done that a bit. Roll out like fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? Like Cockney Music Hall. It's not Cockney Music Hall. It's more Carole King, if anything. It's just weird to hear a song that is very keenly talking about religion in this kind of space. Like, she makes references to, is it Gurdjieff or something like that, which kind of makes sense if you know anything about that guy. It's all about movement, and then Kate's love for expression through movement kind of makes sense. But like, if I've had to do homework to enjoy the song, am I really enjoying the song? And also, rolling the ball was a stupid fucking refrain from the beginning, and I don't know why it's there. Room for the Life, again, it comes directly after this. I kind of want to talk a little bit about this, not too long, because I'm conscious how long this is going on. Bush was interviewed in 1980 about this song, and she said that it's been mistaken as a feminist anthem. It's actually intended to be a plea for women to go easier on men. And I kind of think it fails on both of those fronts, because, for one, there's no real reconciliation between the sexes in there. There's nothing that even really touches any, like, challenging anything that would be kind of pro-feminist, anti-man or whatever. I think as a feminist album, it really doesn't work. Considering that it boils women down to their basest impulses, it's mostly about sexual encounters, childbirth, and hair care. I'm not sure who this was for. I didn't really get anything from it. And then the kick inside, it's almost the opposite way, right? I think the context makes the song very fucking interesting, but also a bit grim. It's based, again, is this in your notes before I go on?
No, go for it.
Okay, so it's based on a Scottish ballad of Lucy Wan. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. The basic story is an incestuous brother and sister get pregnant, and she fucking tops herself.
Wow.
Yep. So this is this song is the suicide note. Yay! Cheery. Fascinating story, right? I just think that because the song is used as a stand-in for the suicide note, which comes across, there is that kind of finality to it, but it doesn't make it fun to listen to, and I think that's actually reflected in the musicality of it. I don't get happy emotions listening to this. I don't get the sense of... I mean, I get the sense of a connection, but it's kind of a connection you wish you'd never fucking learned about.
If we talk about a former episode, could you relate this to Kim on the Marshall Mathers LP? It's a different vein of you wouldn't really want to listen to it again, but do you have that same sort of guttural reaction to this song?
I don't think so, and I think that's because I was able to listen to that about 4 or 5 times, whereas Kim I managed once and that was it. The problem with Kim from the Marshall Mathers LP was that it was celebrating violence towards women, whereas this feels like it's very sorrowful. It's a tearful goodbye of a thing. The violence within it is not intended. The violence within it is an accident of the situation. So I felt like that read a bit more sorrowful and therefore empathetic than anything in Kim. To be honest, anything on that entire Eminem record, to be honest with you. So yeah, I this was more approachable, even though the subject matter is arguably more extreme, but it just wasn't fun to listen to, and I didn't like it.
Well, on that note then, I think it's about time we round this off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing from your list of negatives that you're in the same boat as me.
I think this is a surprising record. I don't think it's Kate Bush's best work. I am biased towards her work in the 80s, so that might have something to do with it. I think what was the most surprising is the sheer kind of like acceleration of the talent. I think from minute one, she is just excellent at what she does. I think lyrically, this album is top notch. This is so well written, and it's a real kind of testament that something as, you know, a literary classic like Wuthering Heights could be adapted in a 4-minute song and it not feel trite or truncated or anything like that. There is a clear talent coming from Kate Bush. The problem is that this early on in her career, it is difficult to get something that is 100% bangers all of the time. And that is not this for me. On this occasion, I am saying it's for the skip, but I do not do this with malice. I do this knowing that her best material is ahead of her.
I completely agree. I've listened to this a fair few times. I didn't know if I'd get through it multiple times. I didn't enjoy it. Like, there's songs that I could sit and listen to, and there's songs that I could definitely listen to again. On the whole, it's just not something I'd ever actively seek out. And there's too many songs on there that I'd happily skip. The main one of which would be Wuthering Heights, because I cannot stand that song.
On the moors, you definitely can't stand that song.
Considering, at least I know what it says.
Yeah, thanks to Alan Partridge.
Thank you, Alan Partridge.
Okay, well, that is a shame. Sorry, Becky, that this didn't make the wall. You know what? I do think there is an unskippable album in Kate Bush. I think listening, if somebody recommends Hounds of Love, I think that could really be in contention, because that's the one that has Running Up That Hill and all the... It's possible, right? I think somebody as talented as Kate Bush should have an unskippable album in her. And there's many albums that came after this, so hopefully we get to revisit this artist, because I think there's really something here. I mean, I kind of already knew there was, but to the extent that it was at 19 years of age, this is like Ryan Ross levels for the millennials in the room. This is like Ryan Ross levels of songwriting ability at such a tender age. It is genuinely impressive. I would love to go through another one of her albums. So if you would like to suggest that album, or in fact any of your favourite unskippable albums, you can send them in to us via email, skippod@gmail.com. That's skipdpod@gmail.com. Go to the link tree or linktr.ee/skippedpod, skipdpod, or find us on social media. We're on Instagram, we're on Blue Sky, skippedpod, spelled exactly the same. Go and find us there. Let us know your favourite albums, and we will add them to the wheel, and hopefully you will get selected for one of our future episodes. Next week, we're very much staying in the same era of time, and time is very much a big part of what this is. We're going to get spaced out. We might even visit the wonderful Wizard of Oz. But we'll see you next week for that. Bye, everybody.
Bye.